so many products out there, and some of them really expensive. But I'm going to clean my bike, show you how I clean my bike, and show you some cheaper alternatives to products you can use, what you may not have thought of. Right, first stage is stuff. Kerosene. Kero. I've just been and bought this, even though I've got some already. I didn't realise I had it. But that's alright, because now I've got more. This stuff stinks as well. You can get odourless Kero, but it's twice the price. Right, let's try that again. I tried it just now, but me bottle broke, so I got another one. Right, the Kero is basically just used for a degreaser. It just softens all the grease and grit and grime and stuff, so that when I blast it with the cleaner, it all comes off. Well, that's the theory anyway. Then I give it a good leathering. Get all the drips off, otherwise they leave a little stain. But we're going to polish everything up later and all that sort of stuff anyway. But it's nice to get all the drips off. Also, if you're using chemicals to clean stuff, make sure you got the appropriate drainage in place. Because kerosene, even though it's refined from something which comes from the ground, it's no good to put it back in the ground. What you need to do is pay somebody to come and dispose of it for you. Right, it's dried off now, so you see you got all these grey watermarks and everything's dull and stuff like that. I'll show you the cheap way of doing that. This stuff here, silicone spray. See, I've had this for a while, and all you do is squirt it on everything. And then I tend to wipe the excess off so you don't get covered in silicone every time you go near your bike. And that's it, you just leave it. And it makes it really easy for you to clean next time, because the dirt just sits on top of the silicone and it just comes flying off when you hit it with the pressure cleaner again. See, I haven't done this much on this bike. I wish I would have done it more. Like my street triple I had from new, I did it every time I cleaned it, and that just stayed immaculate its whole life. It's not a good idea to get it on your tyres, but I think the wheels, I'm going to clean them again separately. Spoked wheels are a real pain in the arse. And I'll also use that for here, look, and this sort of stuff. It's good for this sort of thing as well. And it's even good for silicone hoses. Silicone on silicone. This stuff here is also really good for that, but my bottle's broken, ain't working properly. Oh, maybe it is a little bit. No, it's not. But you just squirt that on and it comes up as foam, and you just leave it and it just dribbles off and leaves a sort of finish like that. That's really good stuff. I don't think you can buy it anymore though, which is a bit of a shame. And now what I like to do is go for a little blast and hit the brakes a few times to get any silicone or crap or whatever off of them. And the next bit is really tedious, so we need to stop off here. I'm going to take the wheels off, and I'm going to give the chain a birthday as well, because it's got to a stage now where it is a bit of a mess, and it's much easier to sort the wheels and stuff out with them off and get into all this here. So I'm going to get my trusty Kero out again and give the chain a good wash down. I've got a little drip tray underneath of it, but it's still going to make a mess of my nice clean painted floor, just to get all the grit and some of the grease and stuff off, and then I'll lube it up again when I put it back on. You can get proper chain cleaners and stuff, but again it's more money you don't need to spend. I'm doing this before I take the wheel off, so all the crap I get everywhere I can address when I got the wheel off. There are tools you can get to do this, and cleaners and stuff like that, but I'm showing you how I do it. I've actually just noticed as well that it cleans my tyre stickers up pretty good. You do get some special cleaner with the tyre stickers, which is really good, but this does the same thing, which is also much cheaper. Much cheaper. And you get lots of it. As you can see, that's all nice and shiny again now, look. I'm ordering some new tyre stickers soon because I'm going to need some new tyres. Definitely need a new front tyre, and I'll get some of the same for the rear. I didn't realise when I made these that people in Australia can't actually read joined up writing. Floor. The Porsche Motors jacket will come in handy for this. Surprised I've still got it actually. I'm surprised I haven't burnt it or something. But this is quite a good use for it. Right, I'm going to take the wheel off too. I did say that, didn't I, already? Got two 12mm spanners, that's no good. It's better. I'm also going to take the rear guard off to make it a little bit easier to get in there as well. You don't have to, because on most bikes it's a bit more difficult, but on mine you can see where I've shortened it there, and I've also got a quick release plug on it, so it's easy to get the guard off. And sometimes I've got quick release pins in here, so that when I get to the drag strip I can take the guard off quickly, but they're not in at the moment because they rattle a little bit on the street, and I've just got one bolt holding it in at the front here, so it comes off pretty quick. So that is the engine ECU. That is why you have to take the whole swing arm off to actually get the ECU out. I've never actually taken the swing arm off, and I've never actually had the ECU out, funny enough. That's probably one of the only areas of the bike I haven't actually worked on. Where is he? That's the bottom of the ECU holder there. It looks like it might drop out the bottom, but I don't think it does. Right, so I've got my Kero and my trusty drip tray. This drip tray, it looks like it's made for this motorcycle, like with that cutout to fit where the rear tyre is, but it's actually off the bottom of a fridge. So here I just loosen all this grime and everything. That's my bolt there for the rear fender, guard, whatever you want to call it. Just get all the grime and crap off with Kero again. It's nice to be able to get right in here, let's see. But you get the idea. And you can blow that off with an airline. Or you can wipe it clean with a pair of old pants. Daks, boxers, cacks, whatever you want to call them, I don't know. If you don't have an airline. Or I guess if you're outside you can rinse it down with water. But it's cleaning, it's not rocket science. And if you want, you can hit it with a trusty silicone spray. And it's nice to get in here and clean all this wheel adjuster, get all the exhaust soot and stuff off it. And clean all the soot and stuff off the axle as well. I don't really know if that's going to come off that well, to be honest. Looking at it, it's sort of burnt in there into the alloy. But I'm not that bothered about that. But this is a cleaning video, so I guess we'll have a go at cleaning that. So I just found that acetone cleans it quite well. Nail varnish remover, but I wouldn't buy nail varnish remover because it's just acetone and it'd be way more expensive. So I just stick some acetone on a rag. Oh, where's the camera? And then just clean it. I guess if you wanted them really shiny, you could go to town and use some Autosol or something metal polish, or you could even polish them up with wet and dry. I've got metal polishing videos about that. I'll put a link in the description for me metal polishing video because it's pretty good. But yeah, acetone seems to get that off quite well. Right, so the rear wheel. Probably one of the most tedious bits. You probably need a few drinks for this one. I can pull that push drive right out of there to get to that bit. See that? They're just little rubber mounts, rubber cushings, cush mount for the to take up the plate, so it's not a rigid, and it puts less stress on the chain and stuff like that, I gather. Bearing feels okay. I've had a squeaky bearing seal on this bike ever since I had the bike, and it's still doing it. It's done like 30,000 Ks now. If you really want to go to town, I guess you could take the brake disc off and the ABS rotor to really get in there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to slowly, meticulously, I don't know about meticulous, but go around it. I am going to take the brake rotor off because I've never cleaned it this well before, so it's going to have a real good birthday. So first of all, I've got to take the ABS rotor off, which wasn't on there very tight at all. I just wrote that on there so I know to put this back the right way so the rotation's right. I can't see it making a lot of difference, but people get way excited about putting all bits back in exactly the same place and stuff like that. Doesn't matter for everything. The one what gets me, the one I don't understand, is why people go so mad over making sure drive shafts or prop shafts, whatever you want to call them, go back in the same place. They go, oh, because it's balanced. Well, if it's balanced, it doesn't matter where it goes. It's the whole idea of it. It's like you don't worry about where your wheel gets put back on, whereabouts, if you've had it balanced, do you? So I'm pretty much just gonna degrease everything with my Kero, because the spokes get covered in grease from the chain and stuff, and it picks up dirt. But there's no rust on them, they're pretty good. So I've got most of the grime and stuff off, and it's all quite nice and clean and lovely now. So now I'm going to hit the spokes with some ACF 50. I don't really want to get it everywhere, so I'm just going to sort of soak a rag in it and sort of wipe it on with a rag. You can spray it on, but that's just going to go everywhere in this instance. I've got plenty on there, so that it runs in all the little nooks and crannies of the spokes and stuff. See, I don't normally do this here in Australia because it's pretty dry here in Queensland, and I don't have to put up with crappy roads and salt and stuff like you guys do in the winter and things like that. But, and I guess you all ride adventure bikes over there now for the potholes, hey, so you would have to deal with a lot of spoked wheels. But you get the idea. I normally use silicone spray for this, but I'm actually going to wipe my ACF 50 into the rim because it leaves a nice shiny film on it, so I'm going to see how well that works when it gets dirty and stuff like that, how easy it is to clean afterwards. Looking at it, it looks like it's going to be quite good. I'm getting good at the old wheel twizzle now. It's good taking stuff apart because you get to address this sort of crap here, and we're going to do that now. I'm going to drags tomorrow, so I'm actually taking this chain guard off and putting my quick release bits on the guard, because I'm going to make a video about the quick release stuff on the guard tomorrow. You can't do away with the guard here in Australia, well in Queensland, because I've been pinged for not having that before. So let's get rid of that crap. That rag's already soaked in Kero, so there you go. That just wipes that off just like that. But you can't get to any of that when it's on the bike. It's really difficult, and you can see it when you look down on things. That's pretty clean. I'm going to polish it. What's on that rag? I don't know. What's on it? I'll show you what I use for that. This the paint on this, oh, it's all a bit beaten up now and scratched, and and warm, because there was only a rattle can job that was. It came out really nice when I first did it, and this guard has been off and on so many times. It gets a lot of abuse. You can see where it's scratched there. That was from my sprung seat I made. That was hitting on that. That was a good experiment. I really enjoyed that, making that sprung seat in that video. But it was just way too comfortable. I didn't like it. So this stuff here, this is so good, carnauba wax, and it smells awesome. I'd like to roll around in that. I'm not going to. But I use that for polishing up aluminium and protecting aluminium as well. That's in my polishing video, but I'll do a bit about that in this video maybe. So the idea of this is to lay it on like that. It fills in all the tiny little nooks and crannies and bits in the paintwork, and you actually let it dry off a bit, and then you buff off the excess. I normally do this really quick when it's on the bike. I don't spend a lot of time cleaning the bike. I do keep it clean, but I don't sort of spend a lot of time cleaning it, if you know what I mean. I'd sort of do it frequently, but not that well. So now what I do, so I get a clean polishing cloth and I wipe off the excess. Let's give it a good polish. So there, nice and clean and tidy. I did them the other day. Oh, my number plate's dirty. Let's wipe that with Kero. Get all that crap off it. I'm so glad here in Queensland we have little number plates. I feel sorry for you guys in the UK. You have to have them horrible, great big things stuck to your bike. They're awful. When I lived in the UK, I used to have American plates on my VWs. I did get done from by the police a few times, but it's better than them horrible big number plates you have to have. Yeah, look. Give it the old glide test. So that guy just inserts in there like that. And it comes out of there like that. Put that one in there like that. Like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how they go on. And your little pin goes in there, and then just one bolt in the front. Alright, one bolt in there. I did used to have this on a skewer for a mountain bike as a quick release thing, but then realised it's just as quick to screw a bolt in there and you haven't got the spring and everything of the skewer to deal with. So that's that. So that's on. So now I've just got to plug in the lights, which is just this quick release plug here. Click, and that's in. And that's it. The rear guard and lights and everything are on. Now for the metal and aluminium, I like to use auto sol metal polish. And I've had this I've had this for years, and it's sort of getting to the bottom of the barrel now, and it's all dry, but that's okay, because all we have to do is stick a bit of water in it. So what I'll do now is I'll add a little bit of water. Get a couple of sticks and sort of stir that up and try and make a paste with it. That's the consistency you want. You want paste. Because this is an abrasive, so you don't want to use it on paint or anything like that. But metal likes being, well, metal polishing is basically removing material to make it smooth. It's not actually adding anything. Alright, so let's get on with this. One of the secrets to polishing is actually having your rag soaked in the polish. Let's get rid of my OBD2 connector. Get a bit of paste on there like that, and we'll give it a go. Oh, there's some grease from the chain on there actually. You know what I'll do? I'll get that off with my trusty Kero rag. Hang on. The old Kero soaked pants. We'll get that off in a jiffy, and then we can continue to polish that up. You'll notice if you use a light coloured cloth you'll get black on it. That is actually metal. It's actually the metal coming off. So what you're doing when you're polishing is, like I've said before, you're removing metal. So then I've got a cleaner cloth which I'll buff that off with. You can spend quite a bit more time doing this, but I'm not going to bother because I can't be arsed right now. But you can see that's quite nice. It's also good for glass, look. It's very good for glass actually, but I wouldn't use it on plastic because it's an abrasive, so don't use it on stuff like your Speedo or whatever. But for glass it's pretty good. I can see myself in that. I use it on all my alley bits, even these bits which have been brushed with a zip wheel. Well, actually, when I brushed it with a zip wheel, I actually used that metal polish on the zip wheel as well, and it got these up really looking really cool. And of course, this beautiful piece of TTS engineering here, it's very good for that. I'll spend a bit more time on that later, but for the video, that's all you need to see for now. I could actually go to town on this and with the wet and dry and actually make that a mirror finish if I wanted, but I really like it the way it is. If you watch my metal polishing video, I'll polish all this lot up. You can see that. It's actually a good idea to do all this different stuff in order as well, because if you notice there, the dry bits of powder from the metal polish went on my black, but because it's got silicone on it, it just wipes right off now. And this is my favourite bit, the tank for polishing. I use the carnauba racks again, and just work it in like that. This is good for chrome and aluminium and stuff as well. Once you've actually polished it so it's shiny, you put this carnauba wax on it and actually protects it and keeps the moisture out of it. Helps prevent it from corroding and stuff as well. Let it dry for a bit, and then go buff it off with a nice polishing rag, look. Beautiful. And see my ghost pinstripe in there as well, which is really cool. I love it. It was a total accident because the pinstriping I had on there actually ate into the 2-pack clear coat, and it's left that little ghost mark. I like it. I also use the carnauba racks on the front plastic mudguard, works pretty good as well, and things like the headlight, stuff like that. Shiny stuff, it's awesome. It gives it a nice little protective layer. So that's that then. I now have a nice shiny bobber. Well, I don't actually. I filmed that a few weeks ago and it's dirty again now. I did actually get to the drags though with the bike. We were going to try out the suspension limiting straps at the front, but unfortunately the track wasn't prepped. So we were fighting for grip at that point. But this is all a great learning curve as well. So I didn't really get what I wanted out of the bike, but there might be some more videos coming about that. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, I'll get back to you, and all that good stuff. And of course, have a great day.